Hello, and welcome back to Let's Get Lit. In this episode, we will be discussing Chapter 22 of the Odyssey. Remember, the previous 21 chapters are on YouTube for your listening pleasure. So, catch up before you head into spoiler territory. Alright, everyone ready? Awesome. This chapter starts off with Odysseus tearing his rags off and picking up his bow. He then puts an arrow through the neck of Antinous, killing him instantly. He then jumps up on the table, and the other men begin to panic and look for their armor. The suitors tried to scold him, for they thought at first it was just some accident or mistake. Odysseus tells them it wasn't a mistake, that he is Odysseus and that he is here for his revenge. Eurymachus tries to appeal to him so that he doesn't kill them all, but it does no good and he is killed by Odysseus. Amphinomus was next. He was trying to kill Odysseus, but Telemachus kills him with his sword. He then runs over to his dad and tells him he's going to run and grab more supplies for Odysseus, Eumaeus, and Philostrius. Telemachus runs and gets everything and brings it back. While Telemachus is gone, Odysseus continues to kill the suitors. Odysseus has Philostrius guard the only escape out of the house. Melanthius sees all this from behind, for he wasn't in the room when Odysseus began his attack, and makes his way to the storeroom. He gets weapons and shields for the suitors. When he gets back and starts to hand these things out to the suitors, Odysseus asked if Telemachus had made sure to close the storeroom completely before leaving. Telemachus then tells Odysseus that he may or may not have, due to him leaving in such a hurried manner. Odysseus then sends Eumaeus and Telemachus down to the storeroom to get a hold of Melanthius. Once they get a hold of him, they were to bind his hands and feet and tie him up by the rafters. During all of this, Melanthius had gone back down to get more supplies. Eumaeus and Telemachus find him in the storeroom and did as they were told. In the main room, Athena comes in disguised as Mentor and stands by Odysseus. Odysseus asks Mentor, Athena, for help, and she then helps him and flies away as a swallow and lands on one of the rafters to watch the carnage. The whole time, Aegelius, a suitor, curses out Mentor for not helping them. Aegelius then tells everyone to throw their spears at Odysseus. They all miss with the help of Athena. Odysseus then goes on to kill many more of the suitors. They then try again, throwing all of their arrows at Odysseus, but again, thanks to Athena, they all miss. Then, Odysseus, Telemachus, Eumaeus, and Philostrius all fight off the suitors. The room is starting to get thinner and thinner, with Odysseus and his men killing many suitors. Leodes tried to plead with Odysseus, but Odysseus just chops his head off in anger. Phemius and Medon, a poet and servant, are spared by Telemachus for being noble and not part of the evil suitors' plans. They are led to the outer courts while Odysseus and his men kill the rest of the suitors, and Homer describes this in great bloody detail. Odysseus asks Telemachus, once the killing is over, to call Eurycleia and bring her out. She sees this scene and she rejoices. Odysseus then asks her which of the women has misconducted themselves and betrayed the house. She tells Odysseus which ones have done these awful things. Odysseus then has the men start to clean up the mess while the nurse brought out all of the women. While the men are cleaning up, he tells them to make sure all of the suitors are good and dead. He doesn't want to leave any of them alive. Telemachus then hangs a cable around one of the rafters of the house, and he proceeds to hang all of the female servants who disobeyed the house or had turned against the house they served. As for Melanthius, they cut off his nose, feet, and hands. They then disemboweled him and gave his entrails to the dogs to play with. They then washed their hands and cleaned and cleansed the house. Odysseus asks for Eurycleia to bring his wife to him, and the maids, who respected the house, as well. When the maids saw what had happened, they all began to kiss Odysseus on his head, arms, and feet, and rejoice. This is the end of Chapter 22 of the Odyssey. I hope you guys are enjoying these podcasts, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content. As always, have a great one, guys, and stay lit.